This is Double Take Debate, an early morning or late night edition, depending on how you view it. I've just finished watching UFC 148, hence the bags in my eyes. It's 6 AM I think. But to be honest, a disappointing event. So I'll focus on the two main events. The first with Ortiz and Griffin, and like I predicted, Griffin won comfortably. He won, if I remember correctly, just about 3 times as many significant punches as Ortiz. It wasn't a great fight, but Forrest was in control for pretty much the whole fight. I think based off his performance, it would be good for his career and his legacy if Ortiz really does call it a day and sticks to his promise. Griffin showed some promise, but again, he done his leave the ring early, walk around the stadium, shindig, or whatever you want to call it, and it's not warming into fans. I don't know what it's about. It's since he ran out of the stadium, since Anderson Silva knocked him out with a jab. He needs to get over himself, or whatever this is all about, playing up to the villain role. I'm not so sure, but it isn't doing any wonders for his career. A good win over a fading Ortiz, something that I think was expected, to be honest. No real shocks. The second fight, the second main event, should I say, Anderson Silva against Chael Sonnen Part 2, as it was being labelled. The biggest fight in UFC history, they declared before the fight. I think that was fair enough considering the commotion around the first one with Sonnen dominating, and then obviously in the final 2 minutes Silva winning by submission of the last round. And it started pretty much the same way the first one ended. Chael Sonnen ran in, and within 10 seconds had Silva on his back. He got into full mount by the end of the round, and Silva wasn't on his feet. He was on the ground for, I'd say, all but 15 seconds of the opening round. It was crazy. It looked like, here we go again. It looked like Sonnen came with his head screwed on. He knew his strengths. He knew how to get to Silva, and he knew how to get him on the ground and just nullify everything about his attack. And it looked like it could be a long night for what people consider the greatest fighter in UFC history. But he went to his corner, he looked calm, he looked relaxed, he looked like he wasn't panicked, almost like he expected it to a degree. I'm not sure he expected to spend the whole round on his back, but he seemed really at ease with it. And he outcame for the second round. Sonnen tried to take down straight away again. It was blocked, and from there on out it was all Anderson Silva. He tried to take down on his own. He blocked Chael Sonnen. He landed strikes, he landed jabs, he landed hooks. He landed pretty much whatever he wanted, teed him up just like he has every other opponent. And it all went wrong when Chael went for what was an imitation of a back spinning elbow. It reminded me of a John Jones, but in slow motion. It wasn't quite as fluent. And because of the previous strikes he'd received from Anderson, he fell to the floor and into the side of the cage. And Anderson landed a devastating knee to the chest, and that was it. Game, set, and match. Jumped on him, pounded him in the face. Chael Sonnen didn't know where he was. Ref had to stop it within, I think it was about 2 minutes of the second round, and that's the 10th successive victory and title defence for Anderson Silva. And I think it is fair now to say, as I said in the pound for pound rating, he is now and probably should have been in a lot of people's eyes, the pound for pound king and the greatest fighter in the UFC. He defeated the one guy that gave him the most problems, if problems at all, in the UFC, in Chael Sonnen. He's done it convincingly. He took his takedown for a round, came back, beat him with strikes, beat him with his game plan, what he wanted to do. He showed him that there's no one match for him, and he was a class act afterwards. He spoke with Chael Sonnen. He had some banter with him, some friendly banter. It was good to see, but what a victory for Anderson Silva. For any doubters where he goes from here, I'm not so sure. I don't know now who he's really got on his bucket list or checklist of people that he needs to beat anymore. I think everything else now is just a bonus. And he has to be careful not to fight in significant fights, because he's done everything that's been asked of him, and he's done it convincingly. The one person that felt he was deserved a rematch, he's sent home. We'll now see if Chael Sonnen stick to his retire if I lose promise. I highly doubt he will, but yeah, a good fight, a good way to end the night. Abrupt, typical Anderson Silva fashion, and great to see. I think if anyone now disputes who's the best in the UFC pound for pound, it's going to be a hard time going against Anderson Silva, if it wasn't already. But yeah, double take debate. Again, it's now must be about 6:15. I hope you all enjoyed UFC 148. A disappointing event, but a good way to end with a legend just solidifying his place in UFC history. Hear from you guys soon.